What's going on, guys? I'm here with Philippe Saltarski, who is one of the key guys behind this incredible project. Philippe, je peux vous demander, peut-être en anglais.
In English, okay.
On fait un mélange. This watch is incredible to me for the reason that almost every piece in this watch has multiple uses, right? So, for example, you have a seconds indicator is actually a seconds wheel.
Yeah, you know? Exactly.
I love the fact that you have this incredible escapement bridge, which is the bridge for the balance, but also the escapement, but also the shock absorber. Tell us about these two innovations.
These two innovations. In fact, to do something very thick, we have to imagine something very simple. And do something simple is very difficult.
Okay.
And what we try to do with this watch to have different function for the same pieces and for escapement. In fact, if we have a normal shock absorber, it's very 2 to 8.
Yes.
And we have to think a new system, and the new system is to use the arm like I would say shock absorber.
Yes.
And also the upper arm on the down bridge can be used like a shock absorber.
So there's a bridge on the bottom that's the same shape? Or?
It's the same shape, okay. Exactly.
Right. What Philippe is referring to is if you look at the balance wheel, which is the wheel that's vibrating at 4 hertz, you'll see this this 3-arm skeletonized bridge, which is really cool looking. Actually kind of looks like a tourbillon cage, but of course it's not moving, right? And that actually has some flex to it, so the balance is able to ride on that, and there's a lower bridge that's exactly the same shape as well. And then if you look to the side of it, the escapement wheel is mounted to the same bridge as well, which is really cool. And it provides a shock resistance for both the balance wheels as well as the escapement wheel.
Exactly. Yeah. Because we build also the movement by different modules.
Right.
And we have one module is the escapement module, and we can also adjust without the full system. We can adjust module by module and assemble everything.
That's cool.
To create the watch.
So it's a really contemporary way of working on a movement as well, or on a watch. So the other things that I think were really cool here, first of all, the back of the watch is in fact the base plate, right? It's made of tungsten carbide because you have something that's super rigid that doesn't flex. And then I really like the use of these 2 horizontal crowns, right? Because, to use a traditional crown, I mean, there's watches that have tried to do that before, but then you need a special device to wind the watch, to adjust everything. Whereas here you've got a horizontal crown for winding, so winding here, right? And then you've got a horizontal crown for setting the time here. Now, what's cool about the one for setting the time is it's with a differential mechanism, so it doesn't affect the gear train, right?
Yes, and also we had the friction like that. It's not so easy to change the time by if you don't want to change the time when you wear the watch. You have no issue with this. We add friction, and like that, you have to do intentionally
to
the setup.
No, but it's really cool. I think that's what's so amazing about this watch is that you've got an achievement of 1.8 mm, and I also have to say 1.8 mm not just for the case, but for the bracelet and also for this amazing deployment as well. But then you've got all these smaller innovations that can surround the watch. I mean, really amazing achievement, incredibly wearable. Like I would put this on my wrist right now and then go, but they would arrest me because it's €400,000, which honestly, I mean, there's nothing like it, so it's impossible to compare it to anything else. And there's only 10 of them being made. Maybe the last thing we'll talk about is the laser engraving on the ratchet wheel. So that brings you to your NFT, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and also it's so thin when you are doing the laser engraving on the rochet, you have also to do the same thing at the opposite side to avoid to have a deformation of this piece.
Really?
Yeah, and in fact it's not exactly the QR code that we did, but the same surface we have to engrave on the back side.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy because it's so thin, the rochet.
Yeah.
And the raw material is Durnico.
Right.
And we have Durnico.
Durnico.
It's a special steel that we use for rochet, is what we use to for this kind of piece. But in this case, it's so thin that we have to make the same engraving on the backside, the same surface to balance, in fact, the deformation.
That's incredible.
It was crazy, yeah.
Well, there you have it.
Because it's a big surface, and we have to manage to have something very flat.
Fantastic. Philippe, thank you so much. It was a pleasure, sir.
Thank you.
Bravo.
It's a pleasure also.
Sure.
Thank you.